The scariest part about being a writer is the blank page. All of a sudden, your hands get clammy, your mouth goes dry, and every single racing little thought you had in your mind since the minute you woke up, it's gone. It's empty. Everything is a horrifying, terrifying blank. Good news? There's a way to get through that. Bad news? It kind of never really goes away. But that doesn't mean you can't get better at managing it. Hi, I'm Sarah, and I encourage new writers to find their creative confidence. The blank page is scary. The blank page is terrifying because the emptiness seems to draw out your innate sense of perfectionism. The idea that anything you put on this empty page has to be good, or it has to be grand, it has to be great. It can't possibly be mediocre. It can't possibly be anything that's changed later. It's basically something that's going to be chiseled and set in stone. And the more you think about this, whether you're being rational about it or not, the more you think about it, the worse your mind makes it out to be. Because remember, you saw the blank page and so did your brain. And your brain went, oops, that looks too scary for me to do anything about. So you know what I'm gonna do? Let's make it so terrifying that we don't have to do anything to it, or about it, or with it. We'll just leave it there. And sadly, that's where a lot of new writers get tripped up. Because your brain tells you, let's brainstorm some more, maybe some research. Or what about that list of baby names that I haven't checked out yet? My character needs a middle name because I will use it at one scene in chapter 52 out of this monster outline that I haven't even written yet. Yep, your brain can be kind of sneaky like that. The problem with this, sure, you can let an idea sit and marinate in the back burner for, hours, days, weeks, months, years, whatever it takes, okay? I'm not saying you shouldn't let your ideas sit a little bit. There is a big difference, though, between being afraid to start something because you're terrified you're going to mess it up, or avoiding something because you're sure you're going to mess it up. The difference is thinking something and doing two very different things. You might think you're going to mess up your story, but you haven't even written your first chapter, much less your first paragraph. It's really hard to judge something when you don't have anything to judge. The most important thing for new writers is to actually write. Now, every writer is different. This means we all approach our blank pages very differently. But more or less, we fall into two categories. The absolutely terrified that whatever we put out there is going to be awful, or we've got so much stuff we're just throwing it all at the page and now we just have a whole big giant blarg of words on a screen in a Word document in front of us, and we've got no clue what we're supposed to do with it. That can be just as terrifying as an empty page. But no worries, I got you covered. When you come up to this blank page, think to yourself, not, oh no, it's a blank page, I'm so scared, what am I gonna do about it? No, calm down, take it down a level or 2 or 10, and tell yourself this, wow, a blank page, I can't wait to get started. Do you feel that shift there? That shift from, oh no, it's awful, to, oh yay, I get to. Instead of it becoming a burden, it's now something exciting, something new. It's a possibility. And it's a very minor shift, okay? It's a very minor shift. You might be surprised at how easy it is to open up a brand new Word document and just start emptying all the wonderful ideas and words that were simmering in your head all day long. And it's a great feeling at the end of a good writing session, or just a writing session, okay? You don't have to slap a label on it that it was good or bad or mediocre. Just a writing session, that you got words down, that you spent time on something you cared about, and that you put, some of that creative energy in there. So you got a writing session done, and hey, there's words on that page. It's not blank anymore, it's not scary, okay? Because you've put something there, and now that you have something there, you can work with it. You can go back and rewrite, you can go back and make little tweaks, little edits, you can just keep adding more to it. Just There's so much you can do, but you can't get to that point unless you put something down. 3 tips for meeting that blank page head on. Do you have a favorite font or size or page color that you like to write in? Set up a blank document and call it blank document template, or just, blank page starter, whatever, something similar. Something either with an A in front so you can find it right away at the front of your document library anytime you're ready, so that you don't have to think about it, because the less you have to think about it, the better. Okay? Second, if possible, have an autosave feature. Okay? Have an autosave feature, or get in the habit of every couple of minutes hitting your save button. Now, I know some writing suites like Microsoft Word and Google Docs and all of that, Scrivener especially, they have autosave features, so that's not a problem. But if you are not working with one of those, please stay in the habit of saving your words so you do not lose anything. A blank page in a notebook can be just as scary as a blank page on the screen, but it's a little bit easier to work with because all you need is a pen, and you can even just start doodling in the margins or making little bullet points or notes to yourself, adding a post-it note, and it brings in different elements from, where you are, how you're feeling in that moment. And you can take some time to just focus on the words as you get them down. I find that making a bullet list is really helpful. And when I can't focus on an idea specifically, I focus on a character. Try to picture them as clearly in your mind as you can, and focus on your feelings around them, the emotions, okay? And this is a neat little trick that I like to do, and it's write down 5 things that your character wants right now. The moment you shift from panicking about your page to what your character wants or what you can get them to do, you'll find it's much easier to just start building a chapter, a scene, or whatever all the way around them. And because you're kind of starting from a jumping off point, it doesn't have to be good because you're not writing a beginning. You're just kind of somewhere in the middle and you're just playing around, okay? It's sandbox mode and you have something to work with. Now, whether any of these actually make it into your story or not, that's not the important part. You just want to get something going so that you have something to work with. My last point on this is to take some time to just empty your brain. I know not everyone is a fan of morning pages, but in Natalie Goldberg's Writing Down the Bones, she actually talks about free writing. She talks about free writing and how it's important to just put your pen to paper and let your mind go. And when I first read this book as a new writer, it changed my writing life. At the time, I knew nothing about writing craft, story structure, publishing, editing, none of that. I was just a girl with a story and no idea of how to tell it or what to do to tell it. And so I went to the library, scoured the book stacks, and came out with Writing Down the Bones by Natalie Goldberg. It was a hot summer day, and just cracking that book open, pages all yellowed and faded, and reading that first chapter and feeling like I was struck by lightning because, someone had put into words what it felt like to have all of this creativity and nowhere to put it, and no idea how to shape it or how to just collect it and gather it and store it for when I could use it. And one thing that I really enjoyed about her book is the way she tells you don't have to read it in order. You can jump around from chapter to chapter or skim the table of contents and just find something that speaks to you. And when you find it, flip there and read it. I did eventually read the book from cover to cover, but I did like she suggested the first time around, and I just skipped through and read the chapters that had titles that just grabbed me. And when I finished that book, I couldn't wait to read it again because it gave me a sense of hope and purpose, because when you don't know what you don't know about writing, there's so much to learn. There's so many books, blogs, articles, courses, classes, podcasts, movies, just, oh my word, there's so much. And it can get really overwhelming when, honestly, when it comes down to it, all we want is a piece of paper and a pen or a blank Word document. And that overwhelm sticks with us when we finally get to those blank pages, and it paralyzes us right there because that's as far as we thought. So the next time you have an idea creeping up on you, take a moment and jot it down. Don't wait for it to build up in your head until it's such a big, terrifying thing that you can't wrap your mind around it. Scribble little notes to yourself throughout the day. And at the end of the day, when you sit down to write, pull it into some kind of order. Go back through the notes and think of which one made you the most excited. Think about what just made you itch to get to your keyboard or pick up your pen and hunker down in a corner and just, write everything out. Focus on that and think, yes, I get to start my story now. Yes, I get to write for 10 minutes here and now, and I'll do my best, because your best is all you have to do. Because with everything you write, you get better. And as you get better, the next thing you write, it will be better, okay? No one is ever just gonna write, it's a bestseller, it's a bestseller, it's a bestseller, it's a bestseller, everything is a bestseller, it's the best thing that ever came out on the face of this earth, okay? You're gonna write something good, you might write something bad, you might write something in the middle there, and then you might write something good again. Most of the time, it kind of goes like, good, kind of good, good, better, better, good, so, even better. Because with each word you put down on a page, each word that you type on your keyboard, you get a little bit better. You improve. And you improve by practice. The more you practice, the better you get. Practice the right things. Build a foundation for your creativity, for your writing that is so strong that you never have to wonder when you sit down to write, oh, should I be doing this anymore? Or maybe I'm not cut out for this. I've got so much. You've got so much what? So much fear, so much worry, so much perfection. Take your time and find out what's scaring you about this blank page, okay? I suggest trying one of Natalie's tricks and free writing for 10 minutes. Grab you a timer, set your phone on a little 5-minute, 10-minute thing. Start with, this page is blank, and that scares me because, and let it go from there. You might be surprised what you actually learn about yourself. If you enjoyed this video, check out my writing tips and tricks playlist for more fun tweaks to boost your writing confidence and improve your productivity. Happy writing!